Welcome, 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 kings and queens, to Business Strategies and Tips with Lady L. I am your host, Lady L of Success Beyond Strategies LLC, building business owners and entrepreneurs to help them identify their vision, mission, and purpose, turning them into legal, successful, and profitable business entities. This show is brought to you by the Magnet Exchange Group, a book club, a social club of like-minded individuals with a powerful magnetic attraction that develops healthy relationships, positive personal development, and we share wisdom and experiences in generational wealth development and wealth preservation. If you have not been tuning in to the Magnet Exchange Group Monday through Fridays at 10 a.m. on Zoom room number 924-039-3360, you are missing some priceless information. that we are receiving to help prepare us for the next dimension and the next levels of our generational wealth development and wealth preservation. We are getting practical wisdom. We are getting financial wisdom. We are getting business entity wisdom. We are getting business funding, business credit, personal credit. I mean, on any given day of the week, because we have specialty days every day of the week, you are missing out. You have got to tune in, even if you just have to slip, one of your earpieces in or slip it under the mat on your desk or something. You really have to make some attempt to be on our Magnet Exchange group morning shows, because we are giving the most powerfulest wealth development information that you could possibly receive. And it's just second to none, people. So tune in. The Magnet Exchange group, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Our Zoom room, again, is 924-039-3360. Share it, tell it, get on it, because it is something you do not want to continue missing. This is the fourth quarter of 2022. You want to set the stages for your business that is going to bring you the most impact, the most development, the most strategic in your plans, in your goals, in your purposes, so that you are maximizing your gifts, talents, callings, your vision, mission, and purpose. With that being said, we have been doing the Business Empowerment Series Days of the Week, and today is Thankful Thursday. This is when we take that time and be reflective over what we have accomplished in our Fresh Start Monday, our Tackle It Tuesday, and our Work It Out Wednesday. And this is when we sit back, we take that woosah moment, we look at what's happened in our business, in our organizations, in our ministries, and we sit down. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it is so critically important that you are connecting to those people that serve alongside of you, that serve with you, that you're all on the same page, you're all flowing and going together, so that you can see those profits and they can see the fruit of their labor as well. So with that being said, we have been doing the Power series, the Power Found In. So you need to go to my YouTube channel. That's Lady Verne, LadyVerne. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and hit the bell, so that every day you are getting some encouragement, you're getting some edification, you are getting to this information that you need to help you in your business development journey. Our words that we have been doing this week have been the ABLE words. We talked about being coachable, teachable, trainable. Now, this one I kind of sort of made up. If anybody else has heard it in another arena, just hit me up, send me a message, leave a comment, and definitely share your takeaways from what you've been gleaning from the show. I appreciate all the feedback that I have been getting, so that I know exactly how I'm addressing any business strategies or tips that you may need on your business journey. So we went through coachable, teachable, trainable. Now we are talking about being learnable. So what is learnable? That word just popped up in my spirit one day, and it was like, let me do some research on this word learnable. Well, let's go to the root word of it. What is the meaning of learnable? Or to learn, to acquire knowledge or skill in by study, instruction, and or experience. When you compile all of that together, those are learnable moments. Those are learnable opportunities to study, to gain instruction, or to be given instruction, and even your experiences. I like how now we're not calling them mistakes, but they're lessons. They remain mistakes or become mistakes when you don't learn from them and operate and walk in what you've learned. So with this being the fourth quarter of 2022, You need to look at your first, second, and third quarter and the flow and go of your business, the outcomes of your business, the feedback from your business, especially if you are predominantly in the social media sector with your business. You need to, now I know they got all these different names for folk, but I just straight up call them haters because that's what they are. At the end of the day, I go to the root word, okay? They're haters. Y'all call them all different kind of names, but I call them haters. And again, I like the saying, chew the meat and spit out the bones, because if there is an element of something they're saying that is bringing a negative impact to your business and you see a consistency or a pattern, you really need to examine that, and you need to be honest with yourself. We talked about that this week. You need to be objective with yourself and say, is there an element of truth in what they're saying? If not, spit out the bones. Now, unless you want to suck the juice and the marrow and all that out the bone, hey, that's if they said something worthwhile. Because you can have some very constructive feedback from a mentor, a coach, someone who sows into you, someone who has your results that you are gleaning wisdom and knowledge from. So you may have to, do some sucking of the bone on that. If what they're saying is really causing you to be honest with yourself and open with yourself. And as a result, you can see how you can apply it to your business, your entity, and how it can help you move to the next trajectory. Just like the chastisement of a parent to a child, it's painful at the time, but it's needful and it's necessary because it's for their learning. That's what you're training your child to be, learnable. That even if they make a mistake, even if they fall short on something, you want to take it a step further. Now, hey, I'm definitely a believer in not sparing the rod, but before you have to go that point, you want to drive a lesson home to them. And you could ask my children, like, oh God, just beat me, don't talk me to death. I said, no, I want you to understand why I'm issuing this punishment. I want you to understand why I'm putting you on suspension. I want you to understand why you didn't get that raise or that bonus. I'm trying to show you something that in the long run will help you better develop your skills, your craft, so that you can continue to not only be an asset to another company, but most of all be an asset to yourself. One day you may decide to start a business. Well, are you going to be that employee that is a benefit, so that you can reap a harvest of beneficial employees when it's time for you to have your business? Or are you going to always be an employee because you don't have what it takes to not only obtain, but to sustain and maintain a business entity? So you need to look at some of those things. This is that season, this fourth quarter of this time is that time to make some personal assessments as well as some business assessments, okay? So learning is a relatively lasting change in behavior. Key word, relatively, meaning it's relatable right now. Lasting change, mean it's something that you need to learn, or you're not going to move forward in your business entity. You're not going to move forward in your organization or your ministry. You're not going to move forward in your life if these are lessons that you have to keep repeating. So it is a relatively lasting change in behavior. Behavior starts here. Change in behavior is a change in mindset first. It's a change of heart. It's a change of will. Yes, I'm going to change this conduct, this behavior, because it is not profitable for me. I keep having high turnovers. I keep having dissatisfied clients and customers, and I'm not getting the referrals. I'm not getting the references that I need to move forward with my business. So these are those times where you have to sit down and be honest and real with yourself and say, have I learned from this situation? When you find yourself even in business relationships, you may have gotten burnt by a partner, or you might have been the burnt or. What have you learned from that situation so you're not continuously finding yourself rotating in these same conducts and behaviors and outcomes, okay? A learning strategy is an individual's way of organizing and using a particular set of skills in order to learn content. Oh, I'm going to slow that one down right there. Let me go back even just a little bit more. Learning is also the acquisition or the acquiring of information, knowledge, and skills. Maybe you'd say, Lady L, I've done everything I know to do. I've dotted my I's, I've crossed my T's. Maybe there's a little more knowledge you need to acquire to move on in your next dimension of your business. Maybe there's some more information that you need to understand about the industry. I had the distinct, awesome pleasure of meeting someone today who I'm doing some business with that is also operating in some other arenas I'd like to work in. So now I have to understand before I step out and take those next steps, I need to learn a little bit more about the industry. I need to learn a little bit more about the lingo, the terminologies, so that when I do posture and position myself, I have acquired the knowledge that I need to be successful in that arena. And I will have acquired those skill sets. Maybe there's some training that I may need to do in that industry, in that skill set, so that when I go to step out, then I've done those things that I needed to learn to be successful in that arena. So again, a learning strategy is an individual's way of organizing, and I know to some people that may be actually a profane word, but if you want to grow, there is some next level of organization you need to get to. You can't keep wishing and hoping. If you have to hire somebody, hire an intern, a college student who may be looking into organizing space or doing those kinds of things in that arena, to help you and to maybe even train you, or to again acquire information, skills. You got to do what you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, to rise up. You've got to put out the funds. You've got to put out the resources. One of our mentors in our class this week, look, you've got to spend the money to make money in business. You've got to make the investment in you. Don't look at it as another expense or another monthly outlay I have to put out. You're developing a business entity. You're developing a business structure, keyword structure. You've got to lay a solid foundation. You've got to make sure it's strong, it's firm. So you may have to we put out for our jobs and our businesses. We put out for other people's businesses. Now it's your turn. And yes, you're going to have to put in the financial sweat equity, as well as the time sweat equity, as well as the skill set development sweat equity. You have to put in the equity in a business. You have assets, you have liabilities, you have owner's equity. That means, what did you invest in your development of your business? And once you put together your structure, your entity structure properly, you can probably position yourself to go after business funding to get the things started that you need to get started. Either way, either direction you go, you've got to put it out there in order to watch it grow. You don't just put one seed in the ground. You have to get multiple seeds of what you're growing, and you plant them. So you may be planting, when a farmer plants, he just doesn't plant in just one parcel of land. He's got acres. You may have to put acreages of work and sweat equity into the ground floor of your business. Now, your revenue might be coming in a little bit quicker than you had anticipated, and you may have to do some crawling to get to that place. Then do what you have to do. But just keep good records of what has come in on the business perspective, even if you do have to do some other blending. And that's for a personal consultation for me to get into details, and it's individualized depending on the circumstance. It's not the norm, okay? But sometimes you do have to do some things as you're doing other things. But you have to do those things correctly in the beginning. You don't want to have to double back. That's more time, that's more money, that if you just, again, trust the journey, be patient with the journey, and where you may want to take off now, you may not be able to take off for another 6 months. But these are foundational things you must put together so that you don't have to double back. Because if you're going to miss deadlines in funding opportunities or deadlines in revenue opportunities, you don't want to have to do that, because now you have to double back and fix your structure. Please, ma'am, please, sir, please, king, please, queen, be patient, trust God for the revenue to get started correctly and in the right way. And successbeyondstrategies.com, mindfulnesscreations.com, manandexchangegroup.com. We're here to make sure you're doing it correctly the first time. Because some things in our financial realm right now is time sensitive. You may not have the time to double back and fix it. With that being said, let's move on. A learning strategy helps you accomplish other tasks more effectively and efficiently. Okay? Characteristics of learning. Learning involves change. You have to step out. You have to step up. There's no way around it. Some things that you're accustomed to doing a certain way, you may have to change in order to get the entity where you need it to go. You have to change your mindset about some things. You may have to change some procedures or some ways of doing things. There are some things that I've been doing for the past 10 years. I can't do them that way anymore. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. But you have to get uncomfortable, be at peace with being uncomfortable to get to that next dimension of comfortable. We have some kings and queens in our Man in Exchange group. They got so uncomfortable, but they are 6 and 7 figures deep now in such a very short time, because they stepped out of their normal ways of doing things and they stepped into change. And change is good. You have to make that confession. Change is good. Characteristics of learning also involves activities. Now there's busy work and there's financial activities that generate revenue. I call them revenue generating activities. If they're not activities that lead to you gaining revenue, then it's busy work. Get a teenager, get an intern to do the busy work and trust God for the revenue, because now you're focusing on revenue generating activities that's going to actually bring you in revenue that you can pay for that resource of person to do the busy work. Learning requires interaction. You're not going to learn everything sitting behind a computer. I know the pandemic put a lot of people working from home and that kind of thing, but every now and then, especially as long as the world is still open, you've got to step out. You've got to go places. You've got to meet people in other arenas. And especially if there's expos going on, if there's training, teachings from, say, some of your big name mentors, if they're having a conference in your area, pay the money and go. They have your results. You need to glean in that atmosphere. There's other people you can meet. And now we're stepping up from the business card to the QR code. You just got to go to managexchangegroup.com to get that golden nugget. I'm not going to share that one right now. That one was priceless. Thank you, my king, Mr. Trillions. That was a priceless session this morning. Oh my God, I'm just so excited, because when I get off from you guys today, I'm going in on what I'm being taught. So when you have those mentors, when you have those coaches, you got to do what they tell you to do. You got to believe, because they have your results. They've done it. They've been in your place of, oh my God, I got to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. Oh my God, I got to step out of this complacency zone and just branch out and do what I got to do. And you gain the boldness, you gain the courage. These are the learnable things that you acquire. You gain boldness, you gain courage, you gain strength to go forward and to step up and step out. The characteristics of learning: understand that it's a lifestyle. As long as you live and breathe and you have the soundness of your mind and the faculty of your limbs, you are going to be learning something every day from anybody, anywhere. If you're not open to that, then honestly, you're not bringing value to your environment. You're not bringing value to your atmosphere. You're not bringing value if you refuse to learn. Learning occurs randomly throughout life. And see, once you're going out and interacting, you don't know where you may end up. I went out to conduct some business this morning for one thing, and I ended up connecting to something that had nothing to do with what I went out to do business for. It's like, oh my God, only God can do this. Only God can make those divine connections. But you've got to come out from behind the desk. You've got to come out. You've got to get into your vehicle. You have to go to the places where people are gathering, where information is flowing, where like-minded individuals are sharing their creativity, that energy, that positivity. You've got to be around it. There's no getting around that. If you're not doing it, you're not going to grow your business entity. Learning involves problem solving. Learning involves being the answer. Learning involves critical thinking. You've got to be able to look. We talked about that on yesterday. You've got to be able to look at a situation, assess it, and come up with some critical recommendations, ideas, creativities, ingenuities, so that you are always evolving in your business entity. The other characteristics of learning, again, the process of acquiring information. So it's again looking at the resources. What are you connected to? What 5 people are you connected to? Are they in your industry? Are they connected to what you're doing? Are they supporting what you're doing? Are they telling other people about what you're doing? Are they adding to you? Are you able to make money with them in your circle? You may have 5 different industries in your circle, but are you helping each other make money in your particular industries? If not, then you need to change your circle. Because all of you should be feeding into one another. All of you should be bringing profit to each other. And I'm not just talking about money, but money is a critical part. If you have people in your circle that can't refer your business and you refer their business, you need to change your circle. If you're always giving, serving, and when it's your turn to reciprocate, and all of a sudden you're just getting a bunch of excuses, you need to change your circle. Just replace that person or that organization or that business that's draining, that's sucking the life out of your entity, and put someone who can bring life into your entity and you can bring life into theirs. And do it unapologetically. You don't have to be rude or disrespectful. Ghosting, yeah, you got to assess that. Because that may serve a purpose, but there's still a level of respect that needs to be done even in that arena. But do what you have to do. Now, we know that there are 4 predominant learning styles, and we can go into depth a little bit on that on tomorrow. But I just want to leave them with you because it's important that you understand the people that labor with you, how they learn. Because then when you're having your meetings, when you're having your staff meetings, your management meetings, your sales team meetings, your marketing meetings, whatever entities of your business you're meeting with, you need to understand the ways that they learn so that even though you're giving the same information, you're disseminating it or giving it differently, where at the end of that meeting, everybody is on the exact same page. Some are visual learners, so work them PowerPoints, whatever you got to do. Some people learn through listening. So hopefully those are the people that are attentively listening and they're jotting down some notes, but they're still giving full attention to what you are saying. So look at body language, look at facial expressions, look at postures, and see, do you have their level of attentiveness if they are auditory learners. Some are readers and writers. Some people can just read something, comprehend it, underline, highlight, make their notes. They're good to go. So those are my analytical people who you could give them a portfolio and they will have that thing marked up, written up, sidebar notes, the whole nine. But they got it. They on your page. That's all that matters. And then some people learn through movement. So with your visual, you may want to combine some movement. Even if you're instructing in your meeting, move around, use hand gestures. That's what I love about my Toastmasters. We teach you how to use all the variables of public speaking so that regardless of who's in your audience, what your demographic of your audience is, in your speech, in your delivery of your presentation, you're able to meet everybody where they are. With that being said, thank you so much for joining me today on Business Strategies and Tips with Lady L. I am your host, and I am so pleased and honored to be your host and to be able to share some golden nuggets, some wisdom over the years of me being in business that is helping you in your business journey. But please give me a shout out on my Instagram, Success Beyond Strategies. Hello to my Instagram family. Please drop some feedback. Please drop some comments to let me know, some questions. Please, by all means, let me have the opportunity to answer your questions. And don't forget to tune in to our Life Changing Alliances call, 9 a.m. I'm telling you, we are in this book, Profits First, by Mike Makowitz. You've got to get this book and come join us. We are learning how to put our profits first in our business and then how to disseminate everything else that needs to go along. So join us, please do. Room 404-333-8430. And then if you want to get the nitty gritty get down of your business and your generational wealth development and wealth preservation, you have got to jump on our 10 o'clock call, 924-039-3360. And when you are ready or you want to be in preparation to get ready, you don't want to have funding opportunities come to you and you are completely and totally unprepared. You need to go to mindfulnesscreations.com and you need to schedule a consultation to make sure that you're putting your paperwork, your strategies, your entities in order so that you are ready to rip, run, and go and receive the funding that you need to make your business a profitable business entity. Bye-bye for now. See you tomorrow.